Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. We are here once again today to take you through, as part of the AI agent series that we started few weeks ago, powered by Azure Nigeria community. So we are here once again to take you through build your code first with Azure AI agent service. So we are all aware that AI agent is trending, and this is the time to key into the trend and also learn the necessary skill that we need to help us to excel on our job. I will be bringing our speaker, which is in the person of Promise Wachiku. Promise Uche Wachiku, and we all know Promise as a very regular person at the community level. He's a Microsoft MVP, and he is a very high profile individual when it comes to cloud and DevOps engineering. Now is diving really great into AI, and he's here to share his own knowledge around this today. So I'm bringing Promise up the stage right now. Um,
Hello, Imo.
hi, hi, Promise. Welcome. Thank you
Yes,
for your time today again to share your knowledge around AI. It's really been
thank
a very fantastic moment each time we get together like this to learn from you. So
thank you.
the floor is yours. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, welcome to this session, everyone. I would be I would be using this opportunity to take us through some of the wonderful things AI agents can do. Today we are looking at a very interesting topic, which is building your code first app with Azure AI agent service. And I mean, lots of amazing things that this can do. Azure AI's agent service is here to stay, and I would like to encourage everyone to take some time to learn more about this. What we do as a community, what we do is to try to encourage everyone and to build the excitement about AI agents and what they can do, right? But as community members, as as people who love or who enjoy learning, it's still your duty to go back in there, study more on what we've shared with you, and try to see how you can make good use and maximum use of the information we've shared with you. Today, again, like I said, I'm speaking on an interesting topic. It's interesting because now we are gradually moving away from, oh, you know, the introductory phases of AI agents to speaking more on the use cases of these Azure AI agents. And today we will be seeing a very practical use case of, you know, these AI agents. Today we'll be seeing an awesome practical use case of this AI agent. So I will share my screen so that we can proceed. All right. So just like I said, today we are taking a look at building your code first app, right? Building your code first app with the Azure AI agent service, right? And of course, my name is none other than Promise Ucheo Wachku. I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I love to talk about things like this. All right. So before we get into the practical session, because all of these things are going, it's going to be a practical session. I'm going to be showing you how it all works out. But before I do that, I want to give you like some brief introduction into, what AI is, how to work with these AI services, and how can we benefit from, these new services coming up with AI. All right, so I will take a very few minutes to just give a brief intro on what Azure AI Agent Service is, right? um, and then from there we can move forward, right? Azure AI Agent Service is just say it's a fully managed platform, right? Comprehensive, yes, I would say Azure service that handles the complex infrastructure of what AI agent development. Enterprise grade agents, they help you create, deploy, scale sophisticated AI agents for business application, right? So you can see here that Azure AI agents are basically all of those infra you put together to ensure your development of the AI services go on smoothly. The agents in themselves help you with carrying out one or two tasks, which probably in some ways you may have been, duplicating, you understand. But this time around, you no longer need to duplicate all of those tasks, or you no longer need to repeat all of those tasks. You can actually configure these AI agents to carry out those tasks for you. What are the key benefits for developers? What generally does this AI agent services? What are the benefits for developers? Right. Major key things are the simplified development rate. It helps you to focus more on innovation, right? Not really the infrastructure, right? It helps you focus more on the innovation part than the infrastructure. It also helps you in the fact that you can do multi-agent coordination, right? You can have built-in messaging and collaboration. You can have other services that will just simply help to speed up your production rate, right? Or let's say the amount of softwares you produce, or things like that. And also, it's also because of the ready to use tools that enhance speed delivery, right? The accelerated cycles. So, I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to work faster? Who wouldn't want to be able to troubleshoot faster when you have all of these services that could, make the way you work, or make you even work smarter? That's why you need to learn how to use these tools. You need to learn how to use these tools so that you yourself can be more productive. That's the idea, right? You learn it, and then you put it into how you work, and then you yourself are more productive, especially in the outcomes of things you do. Now, another thing you also want to look is what are the production ready capabilities, right? Is the fact that AI agents provide complete visibility. There's the server side execution, and then there's the trust and safety. Now, you all want to know that, or you all want to always ensure the fact that, when you are dealing with any form of service in especially when it comes to production, you want to be able to ensure you have things like trust. You can trust the services you're working with, the tools you're working with. You just want to ensure that all of those are integrated, right? That's the beauty of things like this. You want to ensure that all of these things are integrated, and that you are not worried about, what's going to be the outcome of using this AI service? Am I secure? Is somebody going to come and try to hack my service? All of those things. So you just want to ensure that these three things are in place: complete visibility, server side execution, and what trust and safety. And then moving on, generally you want to talk about essential tools, function calling, code interpreter, right? So when you are dealing with Azure AI services, these are the kind of functions they do, right? They call functions, they do a lot of code interpretation. So behind the back scenes, when you pass one or two prompts, they do all these things at the back scenes, right? So you can see under function calling, you connect agent to external systems and services. Under code interpreter, you generate dynamic data visualization on demand. And then for real-time analysis, you transform raw data into actionable insights. So these are the things that your AI agents help you with. Now, another thing they help you with is extending the agent intelligence, right? So um, some of the things you can do to extend um, your agent's knowledge, right? Let's say you build an agent, um, you want to be able to extend what it knows. What do I mean by that? It's like you having a model, right? But it doesn't know some things. Now you need to be able to feed that model information, right? So to be able to do that, you can do that using your file search tool. So you can see here it says agents can access product catalogs and company documents. This improves the response accuracy for what domain specific questions, right? And also for Bing search integration, you can connect to real-time web data, monitor market trends, and computer activities with current information. Meaning that you can integrate your agent with the Bing search integration tool, which you would normally use to do your search, right? And then you can also do context aware applications, building dynamic solutions that adapt to changing environments. Your agents become more smarter with each interaction you have with them, right? These are ways you can extend the intelligence of your agents. Now, for enterprise grade integration, meaning how we are kind of extending the knowledge of your agent for this time around in an enterprise grade mode, you deal with flexibility storage options, comprehensive security, and advanced observability, right? These are more on the enterprise end, right? And sure, getting started with the code first app. So we are gradually delving now into the practical session, right? So for you to get started with this, of course, you need to set up your project within the Azure subscription. You need to deploy your models, and then you focus on the business logic. Awesome. So now is the time for the practical session, right? Isn't the practical session always fun? Yes, it's always fun, guys. All right, so let's do this. Let me bring over my browser here. Good. All right, so believe you can see my browser. I'm just gonna go to ai.azure.com. So guys, ai.azure.com, that's where it's happening, guys. That's where it's happening. All of the resources, all of the things we talk about when it comes to AI, when it comes to Azure, it's all in here that we are talking about. So, guys, I mean, I know you don't want to dull on this, so please don't dull on this. Awesome. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an agent. I'm first of all going to create an agent, right? And connect that agent to a local application I have on my system, right? So I'm going to be communicating with the local through the local agent, yeah, or through my local application to the Azure AI agent service I'm going to build. So let's pick it up from there. So we start with creating an agent. I know in my first class I did explain this. So I would say Yeah, this sometimes happen. You do not have permission on this subscription or resource group. Oh, I would I would look into that. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. We will call it a name and say Azure tutorial. So after that, the reason we do this is because, of course, you need to create your project first. That's the first thing you need to do. So you need to have a project running, and then you need to select the subscription, right? You need to select the subscription where you want to deploy your resource. And what else? Resource group. Yeah, you can create a new resource group. You can say RG. I can say Azure tutorial. Yeah, RG Azure tutorial, right? And I can as well choose this. So let me see what it says about permission. Oh, so it says I need to grant these permissions. Oh, yeah, I'm missing the following permissions. Okay. Um, yeah, to do this, all I need to do now is let me go to my Azure portal, myportal.com, and grant the permissions. Account rights, account project rights. Okay, so let's see with Microsoft Community Center. So what I just need to do is come here to Azure portal. I come to my subscription and I come here and I give it the right it needs. So I will just add a role assignment and I will come to cognitive. Yeah, let's see what he was talking about. Microsoft.cognitive services account rights. So see Microsoft.cognitive. Let me see. AI. I think I can find that. Trying to look for that permission. Yeah. So I think full access to this would be I need cognitive services and I think I need this open AI user. I need to select my name. Yeah, I need to select this and grant it the permission. Yeah, I'll just say active and I'll say review and assign. Oh, if the role already exists, then let me grant it the other role, cognitive. Okay, let me grant it this user then. So members, I need to select myself and I click on next. I say active, next, and review assign. Assign this role. So the roles have been added. So basically, what it's talking about is generally giving them some access. They need specific access to be able to do their work, right? So let me refresh this and hopefully see that that error is cleared away. Interesting. Let me see. He said completed accounts rights, project rights. Then okay. Anyway, this is what we want to do. Maybe what we can do is, yeah, we can make use of existing agents because it looks like it's asking for permissions. Let me try this once more and see if, let me say Azure tutorial, right? And let me choose my other subscription. Does that issue still happen? Maybe it's just is validating the permissions. Oh, this is quite strange. I don't know why this is coming up, but maybe what I can do is I can try from here and let's see. Wow, this also comes up. You do not have permission on this subscription or resource group. And how about on this subscription? Wow, okay. Yeah, this happens. But anyway, let's make use of the existing agents we have. So we would make use of, I created a sample agent earlier on to test this. And basically what we are going to be doing today is generally we are going to be talking to this agent, right? But through I would say an application, right? Through an application. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create the application itself. I would probably just download a sample code of that application and have it in like a repository where we can make use of. Give me a moment while I do that. Yeah, give me a moment while I do that. So I will create a new tab and go towards this location. 1 minute. Just trying to create the new tab for the agent. Good. Projects. Okay, good. Then I can create its services here and create a new tab here. Good. So I will call this my repo. Can create a directory here and say Azure tutorial. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just creating a directory where I want to store my code, the code I'm going to make use of, right? And I'm going to be downloading like a sample application or part of the application here where we can make use of it, and then I set up the application. So I'm going to cd into this location, and I'm going to download the application. So I'm going to do something like this. It's a small application, and we're going to do this. So I'm just cloning this into a directory in this format. And if you see here, you'll see we now have a directory called this, right? In called AI agents. I'm going to now use my I'm going to now use my VS Code to open this particular directory so that you see the content of this directory. Yeah, just a minute. And I'll do this. I'll say open folder. Yeah, and I'll go to the location where, yeah, good. So basically, this is what I'm doing. I'm opening just the directory where we have the. So what I just did was to open this directory in VS Code, right? So here you see some sample instructions, some images, and all of that. But let's do this. Let's see if we can update this application a bit and communicate how we can communicate from here, this local application, to the agents which we already have existing here, right? Let's see how we can do that. So let me bring back this up. Um, to be able to do this, what we can do is we come here. So what we want to do is let's provide a terminal. Okay, we can open this in a terminal. Let me see. Yeah, open an integrated terminal here so that you see what is going on, right? And the next thing we are going to do is already we are in this location, so we can do pwd, right? So you can see that this is the location where we currently are at, right? And then the next thing we need to do is we need to create like a kind of a Python environment, right? So you can see right now we don't have any Python environment, but we need to create one where we can run our applications in a, well, like a virtual environment, right? So we do this, we run this code. What this will do is that this will create the virtual environment for us. So now you will see that it's created a virtual environment for us called lab environment, right? You see. So now you can see it's created the virtual environment for us called the lab environment. The next thing we are going to do is to try and activate this lab environment. Let me run this here. Oh, okay. So I think I need to open PowerShell to do this. Okay. So to be able to, maybe let me make this a bit bigger so you all can see. All right. So I'm going to do this right. I'm going to run this script in PowerShell mode. Yeah. So now I've been able to activate the virtual environment. As you can see, I'm inside of the virtual environment, right? And then I'm going to install all the necessary things that this project needs, right? So I'm just going to run the command to install all the necessary things that this project needs. Oh, it says no such file, blah 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 blah. Okay. I think that is because I am inside of the um yeah, that's because I am inside of the, let me see, where's the requirement.txt? Yeah, log files. 1 minute. Okay, let me do this. Let me run it here. Let me exit here and run this. Pip install this Azure AI. This I'm just gonna run this. So what happens now is it will try to install all of the virtual requirements. Okay, you should consider. Okay, it's asking, oh, the requirement file. I think I did have the requirements file here. Oh, okay, that should be inside my bin environment. Okay, here. Where did I store this? All right. Anyway, let's proceed. Let's proceed now to this. I think that is giving me some error, but then I can run the this in my partial environment, and oh, okay, I think I ought to go into this location. This is where I have my lab files. My bad. Okay, my requirements.txt. Yeah. Okay, it says, oh, let me exit this. Sorry. And let me paste this once again. Yeah, I'll just clear this and paste CD of this to go into this location. Says AI agent lab files. Why? These are the lab files, right? Yeah. Okay, maybe. Yeah. Okay. I think I am already here. That's why. That's why. Yeah, I'm already here. That's why it's giving me that. So PWD, and I can do an ls minus LA, and these are my requirement.txt file, right? So I'm just going to, yeah, I've activated this already. Then I can, yeah, I can then proceed to run this. This should install everything I need regarding the virtual environment. So right now is installing everything I need regarding the virtual environment. Okay, now it has successfully installed everything I need. The next thing I'm going to do is to open the environment file. Well, I can do that by doing this, the code.env, right? Generally, what I'm just doing is I'm just opening the environment file. So you can see that the environment file has just opened here. And yeah, This is nothing but where we how we connect this application to the agent. So to be able to connect this application to the agent, all I need to do is copy the endpoint. So I'm just going to copy this endpoint here, right, to this. So I'm going to just put the endpoint here. Yeah, so what I'm saying is I need you to communicate with the agent from this application. Right. Once I've done that, I just probably save my changes and then I can close this file. Then the next thing we need to do is to open the agent file. So the agent file is here. You can see it, right? And the interesting thing about this is that, um, yes, okay, let me think I can close this a bit or just maybe minimize it. The interesting thing about the agent file is you can see in here we have a couple of empty spaces, and it's actually done on purpose because we need to fill these empty spaces with some set of code that this application is going to make use of. So I'm going to start with the reference part, and I will just fill this up quickly so we can start working with this, right? So we can start working with this. The next thing is this. I'll fill this code block quickly. Yeah. Generally, you just have to ensure the indentation is okay. So you can see this.
Hi, Promise.
Hello.
Sorry to cut in. Can you increase the font size of the VS Code
Oh,
screen?
the font size of the
Uh,
VS Code screen.
yes, even this particular presentation screen, this browser tab as well.
Oh, okay. You mean this, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I can
Yes,
make
yes.
this bigger. Does
Better.
it help?
Yes, yes, yes. Works. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, good. So the next thing I'm going to do is just fill in the other brackets as well. So what I'm just doing is I'm just building the application itself. Yeah, but I need to indent this. Yeah. Same thing I'm doing here. I'm just filling just code blocks for the application itself. So what I'm doing is generally giving the instructions that the application is going to make use of, right? And yeah, I think we're almost done with this. All right, I think we're almost done. Yeah, yeah, okay. I still have one, two, three, four, five. Okay, almost done with this anyway. So let's see. This is just putting in the necessary code blocks the application is going to make use of. And I am going to explain what the application is going to do just in a minute. So I'll be explaining what the application will do just in a bit. Yeah, so we see this. Yeah, trying to remove the double comments. Then we do this. And we have three left. Yes, doing the same thing here as well. The interesting thing is this. You see how this works. Yeah, I know it's a bit boring doing this, but it's something to just give you a glimpse of what the application is going to be doing, right? Yes, we do this. We indent the code. And then the last step is the cleanup, right? So this is just a simple application that is making use of the Python environment, right? So generally, what this application is going to do is that it's going to connect to the AI Foundry project, right? It will upload some sample data files from each project. It's going to upload some sample data file from each project, and then it will create a new agent, right? That makes use of the code interpreter tool, right? And then from there, it will be able to carry out a set of instructions. So it's like the agent is this agent here on my local machine is going to communicate with the one I have in Azure, right? And then we're going to see how this is all going to work. So you will see a lot of the conversation history happening, right? So now let's play around with this, right? Let's play around with the code block we've done. And for us to be able to do this, we need to be able to sync this application to Azure, right? And to do that, I generally need to sign in. So, of course, I would just sign in to my environment. Maybe I will clear this and I'll just do an AZ login. What this generally would do will just allow me authenticate into my environment and allow me to be able to retrieve my subscription. So you can see it's authenticating, and I'm going to authenticate into the first environment, right? And you can see now I'm authenticated to the Azure environment. So now I'm going to run my application. Let me clear the screen. I'm going to run my application just simply by, triggering this Python agent which I have built. So just going to say Python agent.py, which is just this tool which or this application we just built, right? Oh, so looks like this is having some. Oh, looks like it's having. So maybe let me make use of my terminal, so I can still make use of my terminal here. Good. I believe you all can still see my screen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Let me make this a bit bigger so you all can see. Plus this, yeah. Good. So I would just cd into the previous location where I did all of the configurations from my terminal. Yeah, I'll just cd to this location. I'm already in. Okay, I'll cd to this location here. Good. So I should have the rest of the files and the configurations built here. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm currently in the environment. So the next thing I just need to do is to trigger the application. I can say Python agent.py. She said, okay. Document this. Line 2 in module this. Okay. It says module not found error, no module name dot this. I thought I already downloaded all the requirements already, but maybe let me do just that again. Let me do just that again. Okay. All right. So generally, let's do this. I think I have an instance here already. Uh, let's see. I think I have an instance here already. Okay. I think the issue why it's not loading is because I am not in the environment. So I would go and activate the environment again. Yes, I think so. So I did all that, but I need to come in here. No, I think here. Here I have the. Oh, just a moment, guys. Oh, okay. It was. I was looking for the window. So I think the reason why it wasn't giving us because I needed to go back in the environment built by Python. I needed to activate that. And to activate this, I think I need to go to PowerShell. And from here, I can activate the. Oh, okay. No, I think the activation script is somewhere here on the lab environment. Good. So I would say this, copy this part, and would say, and would do this. Yeah, I would generally just trigger that script and paste the part here. Yeah, PowerShell has this. Oh, I think I did. Maybe something to skip this. Okay, just to resolve this issue, I'm just going to do this instead. I'm going to go to the location of this. I think I am somewhere here and I need to come back to the agent, which is 1, 2, 3. I need to go 3 steps backward, which is this, this, and this. Yes, and I should see the activation script, which is in being. Yeah, lab environment. Yeah, good. So I would just do this to activate the environment. Now, so now I'm in the environment, right? I can then clear now, and then I can run my code, right? Which I have done. So I've activated this. Okay, good. So I think the next thing is I probably need to go back to that location. Yeah. Oh, interestingly, this location doesn't exist. But let me clear this and do a Python agent.py. Oh. Okay. Let me do an ls minus la. Yeah, I need to cd to lab environments lab files 02 build and my Python file. Good. So yes, here I see this. So now I can clear since I see it, and then I can now run my Python agent.py. Wow, it still gives me this error already. Okay, so sometimes issues like this happen and you need to troubleshoot. But the beautiful thing with this is I had an existing instance here I already worked with. So I'm just going to explain this for you from here. So you would see this, right? This is what the environment ought to look like once you load it, right? And then you can then call the application, say Python, yeah, Python agent.py, right? And then it should load the application for you, right? So now you can see it has uploaded the application for you, right? And then you can then query the application. So what it's doing right now is that it's currently talking with the Azure AI Foundry service, communicating with the agent through the project endpoint, right? So from here now, I can ask or just give it prompts to see what it can do, right? And I can do as many prompts as I want, and both of us are going to do it together anyway. So you can see here now, I'll say something like, okay, what what's the let me see, what's the category with the highest cost, right? So I'm asking the agent what's the category with the highest cost. You can see the category, everything is listed on the screen here. So you can see that the agent has brought a response. The category with the highest cost is transportation. So maybe let me make this a bit bigger so you see. So you see it's bigger now. So the category with the highest cost is transportation. So you can see here the various categories, right? And then I've done that. I can then say, okay, um, let's see. I can even ask it to create a pie chart, right? I can say create a pie chart, showing costs by category. So let's see what the agent is going to give us, right? It's probably definitely going to, so you can see what it has done is it has created the pie chart and is giving us the link to download this. But because I'm not making use of a web browser right now, I might not be able to download this link. But you can see that it's created a pie chart for us using this. If you were making use of your Azure portal, the Cloud Shell in Azure portal, you should be able to download this file, right? And then we could ask it other questions like, what is the total cost of all the categories? So now you can see what it did was, you can see the last message. It says the total cost of all categories is this, right? Now you can see you can generally, definitely ask it questions bordering all around this. So what have we been able to do? We've generally just been able to set up an application locally that talks with our environment in the Azure portal. Now, let's go back to the Azure portal, right? This same agent we have created, we can also give the agent, let's go to agents.
I promise.
Yes.
Your time is up. Apologies that.
Yeah, just 1 minute and I'm going to round up, right?
Okay.
This same agent we have created, we can also communicate to this agent directly, right? And in here, I've been able to pass across an information. And I told the agent, what do I want the agent to do? Do you understand? I told the agent, what do I want the agent to do? Right. So here I'm asking the agent, I'm saying, you are an AI assistant for corporate expenses. You answer questions about expenses based on the expense policy data. If a user wants to submit an expense claim, you get their email address, a description of the claim, and the amount to be claimed, and write the claim details to a text file that the user can download. So that's the instruction I've given this agent. Remind you, this is the same agent we were using just now to, chat, right? And I passed a file also. So in for agents, you can pass what we call a knowledge file. A knowledge file is, if you remember when we were talking about extending the knowledge of your agents, you can extend the knowledge of your agents, right? By adding, let's say maybe you have some library or some stuff, you can add. So you can see here, I've already uploaded a file, but you can connect it to any of this to extend the knowledge of the agent. And now, because I have done that, I can now ask the agent questions about around the instructions which I have done. And I can just type something as, what's the maximum? So here I can say, let's try this agent in a playground, right? And I will say something like, um, so you see, it's trying to load the agent for me. So I can then ask the agent stuff like, say, what is the maximum I can claim for meals? So ask the agent a question. It's going to try to generate an answer for me, but it's also going to take a look at the knowledge file which I have passed. And you can see here it says the maximum claim for meals is $50 per day. This includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and should be spent at reasonable priced restaurants or cafes. Claims cannot include alcoholic beverages or excessive lavish meals. So you can see, if I open the Word file for you, you will see an idea where it got the information from. So I was able to load a knowledge base into my agent directly from my local system. Just by using a Word file, I was able to do that, right? And I wanted to show you just now where it got the idea from, because I've loaded the agent with this file, right? So it was able to scan through my file. So this is what the file looks like. This is what the Word file looks like. You can see it was able to scan through this file, and then it's able to give, you can then query this file, right? Right, you can see, look at where it got the answer from, right? So doing this, I was able to give the agent some knowledge and also allowed it to be able to query this knowledge file before giving me an answer. So these are some of the wonderful things you can do with your agents. And of course, like I said, the sky is just the beginning of the awesome things you can do with Azure AI agents. So guys, I love us to get triggered. I love us to learn how to make use of these agents, because like I said, Azure agents are here to stay. So I'll be rounding the session up here, because I know that I have shared a lot. And I don't know, Imo, if there are any questions or any things like that. But of course, um, do feel free. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. You can reach out to us on on our meetup page. You can subscribe to our meetup page. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn, under the Azure Nigeria community. You can also check our GitHub page as well to learn more about this, right? So guys, I'm going to be rounding up the session here today, but it was an interesting session. I showed you all about how you can build your first code. What's the word that we use now? Your first code first app with Azure AI service. And interestingly, you were able to see how we were able to communicate with this app. You saw how we communicated with this app, and from our local environment, we were able to talk to the agent in Azure. So these are some of the awesome things you can do with Azure AI agent services, and I look forward to sharing more with you. We will also have a session coming up next week as well, next week Friday, and also upper week, because this is all a season of AI agents. So glad to be here once again, and I'm glad that you took up your time to listen to me. See you all next week. Bye bye, guys.